Today we're joined by men's soccer coach John Higgins. Coach, how are you?
Good, good.
Good. Well, with only 4 true freshmen and 4 transfers on this squad, your team has some experience playing in this league and at this caliber. How are you drawing on past experience to kind of lead the team to success this year?
We played a lot of freshmen last year. We had 6 freshmen, really 5 starting, kind of 1 coming right off the bench there. So I hope that we've got a little bit of experience, through that, but also through recruiting. I think we've picked up, a couple of international guys that are a little bit more soccer savvy than we've had in the past, plus, a couple older guys as well. So I think this year, hopefully, we've got that balance right. That was one thing that was missing last year, was that balance. It was too freshman heavy, with 14 new guys coming in last year.
This team is used to doing a lot together, both on and off the field and in the community. How do you think that kind of helps to build team chemistry, and what do you think that cohesiveness adds to the team's success?
I think it adds a lot. I really do. I mean, it's important for us to make sure we've got good team chemistry. It really is. I think when we were at our best, the 2 years previous to last, we had really, really good chemistry. I think last year our squad was a little bit too big, and it was tough to manage that. One thing the community service does is it gets us together away from the soccer field, and that's nice for us to kind of build relationships with each other, get to know each other away from that soccer environment where sometimes the guys are under a little bit of pressure to perform, or it's just nice to get off campus and have relax a little bit.
What would you say some of the biggest differences between this year's team and last year's squad are?
I think it's that experience. I really do. I think the guys we've got coming in, we've got an English left back coming in, we've got a German centre back coming in, so 2 positions that we really needed. They bring a lot of experience to the table. Even though they're coming in, they're going to be first-year GLVC guys. They've done enough elsewhere to kind of warrant being experienced guys. And then we've also got a transfer from Ashland, so he's going to be GLVC ready. And then the young guys coming in played at a very high level in the academy. So I mean, those guys really just don't have very much trouble settling in when they've played in the academy and they've played at a high club level. So it should be all right. I mean, we've already got a couple of games under our belt. Guys have played, and nobody looks out of place, so it's good.
What would you say some of your expectations and goals for this team are?
We got to make sure we don't get too carried away this year. I think last year we got way too excited, and we set some really, really lofty goals. And we got off to a pretty slow start, and it was one where those goals were no longer kind of realistic for us, and we couldn't rein it back in. So we're going to be really wary in terms of how we set our goals this year, and pretty much, as cliche as it sounds, kind of take it one game at a time,
What has your team been doing in the off-season and the preseason to prepare and reach those goals?
It's really scary being a fall sport because a lot of it comes down to what the guys do in the summertime. Thankfully, we've got a good group of guys. We really do, and they love the game. So everybody's been doing the work that they've had to do this summer. It's made it pretty easy. This preseason, it's been a tough preseason because we only had 1 week to really prepare before classes started. So I think we've got, the guys took care of the fitness part of it, which was really, really good. Which means we can come in and we can kind of focus on our system of play and our tactics and stuff, which is what we need to be spending the time doing.
Returning this year is GLV Freshman of the Year, All GLVC First Team member, and First Team All Midwest Region, Reed Strain. Very decorated, very honored. What does he play? What kind of role does he play in this year's team, and what are the expectations of him?
Similar to last year. If he can do that, then we'll be really happy. I think we've got a little bit more help up there with him, so we'll kind of lighten the load on him. We put a lot on him last year, and we worked him really, really hard. And to be fair, he's had a really good summer. He's played a lot this summer, and he's actually came into preseason camp with some shin splints. So we've really managed him through the preseason here, and hopefully we can get him back to his best for that first game. But it's always tough as a sophomore because he's coming back and everybody knows him now in the conference. So I think it's going to be as hard as he's worked, and even though he's a better player now, I still feel that it might be even tougher for him this season just because everybody does know about him. So we kind of we plan for that. We've got one more striker coming in who can play up there next to him, who I think is going to be very good. And hopefully that kind of lightens the load on Reed a little bit.
Aside from Strain, who would you say has stuck out the most this preseason?
It's really tough to choose. I mean, you know, there's certain training session guys have been up here, and it's really pretty competitive. You know, right now we've got 5th year kind of senior returning Roger Lee. He was very good in spring. He's came back this fall and he looks excellent already. We've got a JUCO transfer striker coming in who's looked good for us so far. And then, you know, most of the new guys have came in and they fit right in there. It's been a really competitive environment. We're still trying to figure out, you know, what that starting 11 is right now, and that's a good thing. That means the guys have been going about it the right way.
Looking at this year's schedule, who would you say are some of your biggest opponents, and what are you anticipating?
Toughest ones I think Rockhurst have been fantastic. They've got a really senior group again this year, so I think everybody in the conference will be glad when that class graduates, because they've been very good for the last 4 years. Quincy are always super competitive. Drury are always really competitive. I mean, it's pretty much the same, you know, the same teams every year, but there's no easy games in the conference. There really isn't. I mean, you can't look at any game right now and say, well, that's going to be one where, you know, it's a comfortable win or whatever. There's just none of those games exist in the GLVC.
Coach, what are you most looking forward to about this season?
I'm excited to get off. We really need to get off to a good start this year. So I'm excited about that first weekend. I've been here for this is my 4th fall, and I've never won my first game of the season. We've always started, you know, 0-1, and we've always been chasing. So I'm really excited about that first weekend. I hope we can get off to a winning start this year, and hopefully we can kind of, you know, get some confidence to go along with that, and hopefully that can push us forward.
Great. Well, the Greyhounds start their season September 6th against Northwood at Tiffin.